So, are we ready to roll?
Ready to roll. Let's do this.
So, welcome back to Mindset Monday, David. I want to welcome my friend, author, and mind coach, David Rahman.
Thank you. Great to see you.
I'm so excited to do this again and be back on track.
Yes, let's be back on track. And just to say, you look like a lady who's just about to watch the Super Bowl. You look
Yeah,
dressed to party.
I should be in red, but I'm like, let's be neutral and we'll just be in black.
So, can before we start, can you tell me more about who's playing today? Is it Kansas Chiefs? I don't know anything about American football.
Kansas City Chiefs and the 49ers,
You
San
struggle to remember
Francisco.
that one.
Well, because everybody talks about the Chiefs right now and Taylor Swift, and I'm not a fan.
Oh, yeah. Taylor Swift, she's going out with dating one of the guys in the Chiefs.
Travis Kelce.
Right, right. Okay.
Yes.
That's as far as my knowledge goes.
You're not missing out this year. It's a thing.
Fair
It's
enough.
I feel like it's just a marketing scheme.
Hmm. Hmm.
My
Hmm.
opinion. My opinion. Sorry, I just messed up the camera. Anyway,
Let's
so
do
yeah,
this.
let's do this. So today's topic for Mindset Monday, which I have to apologize. I was like not myself last time. So thank you for carrying all the weight last time, David. I'm back. I'm my happy self again.
Beautiful, beautiful. Yes, my shoulders are aching from last time, but it's okay.
I'm carrying all the weight. I understand. So today's topic, self-sabotage.
Hmm.
Uh, this is something I'm very familiar with because this is something I'm very guilty of. And it took me until I am today old, almost, to not quite, but close, to realize that that is something that I have done in my past. And a lot of my realization came from reading your book, Let It Go, by the way. Thank you. And having discussions with you. As you know, as my personal friend, I am the queen of procrastination. And that is a form of self sabotage. So, one of the reasons that one of the conclusions I've come to, I guess I could say, is that I have self sabotaged in the past out of fear. I feel like that was the root cause for my personal self sabotage. So, in your opinion, what are some other reasons that someone would self sabotage?
Good question. Self-sabotage is like a protective mechanism.
Mhm.
So we're trying to avoid an outcome. Can I share with you a story?
Absolutely.
Hmm. So I had this client many years ago, and he came in and he said, David, my relationships, they don't last more than 6 or 7 months. I said, really? How many times has this happened? 4 times. Really? Well, either you're consistent or you're doing something. so, so, so I said to him, okay. We started going through a couple of sessions. And then in one session, I said to him, right, okay, what we need to do is I think part of his homework was I need you to compile a track list of songs that you wake up in the morning because he was suffering a bit of depression because of this, what was going on in relationships. The latest one had failed. I said, right, what kind of songs do you think you should play in the morning? And he said, I don't know, you tell me. I said, well, of course, happy, motivating song, empowering, feel good. I said, what's your track list like? He said, oh, didn't we almost have it all? Whitney Houston, the greatest love of all. Really? So I had all these love songs. And I said, well, what are these love songs you're playing? This deep, sorrowful love songs like I Will Survive and all that stuff. And then he
Yeah.
said, it reminds me of her. I said, who's her? And then he went on, proceeded to tell me about the love of his life, who
Hmm.
would devastatingly hurt him.
Yes.
And I said to him, right, so you've been hurt. And then it transpired from that, the hurt had almost killed him emotionally and mentally. And he wanted to avoid that. And he suddenly realized he was self-sabotaging every relationship after that to avoid the hurt,
Yeah.
was avoiding the pain.
Hmm.
Yeah. So we're looking to avoid something, to be honest.
Yes. And that's exactly, I can relate to this guy wholeheartedly. That's exactly, now subconsciously, right? I didn't
Mm.
realize that that's what I was doing to myself. But yeah, we hit this mark. And this is just relationship. I am guilty in the past of doing this before I gained self-confidence in a lot of areas of my life. But relationship, it was as soon as, and this was, years ago, but as soon as I felt like I had caught them, the men, and they got close to me, it was push you away because that feeling was so familiar. And I was thinking of the outcome that I had experienced in the past, which was pain and heartache. And instead of healing that pain and heartache before I got back out there, I was just masking it. And temporarily, right? Because you can't move on if you're still living in the past. You can't move forward.
No, no. And I guess if you don't know how to move forward, you'll just carry on doing the same things.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah. If you're not self-aware and you don't have the right tools and you don't have the confidence, because in my experience, it takes a lot of self-reflection and confidence within yourself to heal. And I know that sounds silly, but that's just for me. I had to gain some confidence before I could really have the courage to dig deep and heal what was causing me to have fear, if that makes sense.
100%, 100%. You know, we've talked about this before, um, that when you go into any relationship, you go in with a certain way of thinking, a mindset,
Yeah.
and that also includes all the fear you have,
Yeah.
all the all the good times, but also the bad times you have. And
Right.
you may then meet a man or a woman, and immediately you're judging them. You're almost invisibly looking for green flag, red flag, green, green, red, red,
Yes.
red. Is that something that you've discovered over the years?
Yes, but in my experience in the past, because of this, and it's going to sound super silly, but I've also realized this, I appreciated the red flags because they're not going to hurt me, right?
Mm,
I'm going to have an excuse to escape later.
mm.
So I like the carnival.
So, play with monkeys, you get nuts. So you know
Yep.
exactly you know exactly. You felt
Yep.
you felt sort of safe in
Yes.
the knowledge that you've got an exit plan anyway.
Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. I had it all figured out subconsciously before I even got started, right in the beginning. But now I have learned new ways to reprogram my thinking. And it's when the fear sets in, I'm thinking of the outcome that I would really like. And this is every aspect of life. I am in sales for my day job. So you can imagine there are days that it's hard to make that phone call or walk into that building, that office, that customer, and try to convince them to buy the product. So sometimes, in the beginning, fear can set in like, oh, what if I get rejected? Which rejection, oddly, does not bother me. So I'm in the right field. But um, you have to kind of sometimes really pump yourself up. You got this, you can do this, especially when you have other stuff going on in life, like I have recently, where you're just not feeling yourself. So I've learned that there are ways to think, okay, I need to reprogram my thinking. What is the outcome that I would like? And I focus and envision on the outcome of what I want to see instead of the fear.
Yeah, that's great. That's great advice. Really, really good advice, actually. And to me, that's clearly a sign of a measure of self-awareness, really, really high self-awareness. And when we feel we know ourselves more, we can make better decisions, I suppose.
Yeah. Yes. And it's really brave and takes a lot of courage
Mm,
to face that. Don't you think? To really face that demon, I guess, inside, that ugly part that carries all of the fear, that carries all of the pain with you all of the time. And to be honest with yourself, this is where it comes from. It's not everyone else all of the
yeah.
time.
Do you know one thing that I'm constantly aware of, really, is um, the older you get, or the more experience you have, the more you realize stuff doesn't matter. When you're in your 20s and 30s, it's like, oh, this is all consuming. This is life. It's actually not. And I was speaking to a senior recently, and they were saying, if I could live my life again, I would be different. If I had the
Mhm.
knowledge that I've got now at the age of 80, I would be different. I said, what would you tell a younger person then? Why worry? Why are you worrying so much? It never happens.
Yes, yes. And even if it does, if your world is flipped upside down for a moment, I'm a firm believer that it settles even better than the story that you were living before. The universe has a way of flipping the hard stuff into something that's even better. And that has happened to me so
Mm,
many times in life
mm,
that
mm.
the story on the other side, if you just push through it and you have confidence and you have faith and you keep doing what you love and love this person, it's going to turn out better than you could have ever even imagined.
Yes. And you said it there. Love this person.
Hmm.
Absolutely love this person.
Hmm.
Let me finish off that story with that guy.
Okay, sorry.
No,
We
no,
went
no,
off.
no, 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 no. No, absolutely. There's no need to apologize for that. No, no, because this is a good way to tail end this conversation. He went on to work on himself, Chrissy.
Hmm.
He went on to work on himself. He went on to love himself and juice the joy out of life. And he got back to me, a couple of years later saying, it took me a couple of years to love myself, David. Thank you. And to dance to the right music,
Yes.
dance to the music of joy. And then he attracted a woman who met all his wants, his desires.
Yeah.
And he did all he could to keep her, and he's still with her.
Oh,
It's a
I love
beautiful, beautiful.
that.
He had to, what do they say? You have to grow through it to go through it.
I really like that. I really
Thank
like
you.
that. And there is growth in the hard stuff in life, in the pain and the struggles.
Mm,
There's growth. If you recognize it and you dig deep within yourself and don't live in that pity, that self-pity, self-loathing. I've been there years ago. Everything was doom and gloom. If you just look at the positive and the outcome that you wish to have and your desires, you're going to see it.
mm. I
You're going
echo
to
the
see the growth.
sentiments. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've all been through hugely traumatic times. Most people have, I know.
Yes.
But it's in those, I think the Sufi poet Rumi, to paraphrase him, says that in that times of trauma, there'll always be a crack where the light can come through.
Yes. I like that. I've never heard that. I'm
Hmm.
going to write it down.
Hmm.
I really like that.
There's always light. There's always light, and sometimes if you can't see it, just sit down and talk to someone, and maybe they'll hold the torch with you.
Right.
Mm,
And that's a lot of the reason why I love sharing my experiences in life. Not that mine is the worst, but sometimes we look at others and we look at their problems and their life
mm,
struggles and we look at our own. We'd
mm.
rather have our own.
Yes, and and let's face it, we're stuck with our own. So
Yeah.
let's sort our own problems out first.
So let's love it.
Let's love life.
Hmm.
You know, I love the words, let's do this every single day.
Yes.
Let's do this.
Yes. Let's
Every
get
day is,
pumped.
yeah, it's a chance. Every day is a chance to be great again. So why not? Let's reset and get back on the saddle, as they say.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Tomorrow's a new day. There's something that, oh, T. Harv Eker, the American coach and speaker, said. He said, tomorrow I can always make a comeback. I love
Yes.
that.
I love that too. And life
Mm.
is not an emergency. I learned
I've
that
heard
from
that
you.
before. Mm,
I learned that from you. Well, thank you. Thank you. I hope everyone got something from this and can kind of reflect on themselves and decide, are there areas in my life where I have self-sabotaged, where I had a dream or I had a vision and I gave up out of fear or not enough confidence, and maybe focus on that and turn it around. Recognize, where we've self-sabotaged. Again, queen procrastinator. That's I am the worst. I'm getting better though. I'm working on
mm,
that a lot. So
mm-hmm.
I appreciate you doing this with me and joining me. You are
Um,
amazing.
thank you, and I appreciate you very, very much. And I love these conversations. Thank you.
Yes, they're awesome. Well, thank you. And we will join you all again for the next Mindset Monday. Bye.
Bye. You know what, Chrissy?
What's that?
That